Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Deadair Sandman S and Sandman K. I know these are 10-year-old designs. I've had these for 4 years, but what I'm going to be looking at in the year 2024, is there a reason to purchase either of these 10-year-old designs? Now, before I get into the review, I did purchase these myself. Once I moved out of California, I was suppressor hungry. So I got my FFL and SOT as quickly as I could, which allowed me to purchase these at dealer pricing from Silencer Co. So I purchased both of these. I've had this for 4 years now, I believe. This one for 3, and I've shot them a lot. This Sandman S was my first rifle-rated suppressor. The first suppressor I actually bought when I moved before getting my SOT was a Deadair Odessa 9. Terrible decision. A pistol can for your first suppressor back then with 9-month lead times, 9-month waits for NFA was just not smart. So don't buy a pistol can for your first suppressor. Right now, lead times are very, very short, so the suppressor rush is on. Now, this specific suppressor, the Sandman S, I have used on many, many, many guns over the years. I've been invested up until recently in the Deadair Chemo mount system because of getting this can. So it's been on a lot of things. It's been on my 11.5 Type A. It's been on my 11.5 Evolved weapon systems, both 5.56 guns. It was on a Evolved weapon systems 300 Blackout. It's been on my 10.5 Mark 18 Mod 0. It's been on a 308. It's been on a 7.62. It's been on many, many, many different guns. So I can safely say that I have tens of thousands of rounds through the Sandman S. The Sandman K, I have fewer rounds through. Sometimes I slap it on this 10.5 just to make it look like a shorty. It really doesn't do much as far as suppression. It just makes it unbelievably gassy. But it looks cool. But I primarily bought this for rifles that were 16 inches and longer because I didn't need all the heft that exists in the Sandman S on a longer gun. I just wanted some flash suppression and a little bit of sound and signature reduction. So that's where the Sandman K came into play. Now it's 2024. Piewscience exists. Go to his page to get absolute suppression data because he has all the science on how quiet this can is, how much back pressure it produces, which is considerable, and all that information in a comparison fashion. Thank God for him. If he was around in 2020, I would have made much, much different decisions. But there may still be a case for the Sandman series of suppressors, and I'll talk about that in a second. Now, what are the trade-offs or drawbacks, if you will, of the Sandman series, in my opinion? The reality is everything has trade-offs, and since this is an older design, they are going to lean more in the sacrificing category. The trade-offs are going to be a little bit more negative, but I think there still is a case to be made for the Sandman in 2024. But the main drawback that I would say it has is its weight. So this is designed to be unbelievably durable. It is a 30 caliber machine gun, like belt-fed machine gun rated suppressor, and it has no barrel restrictions, which is pretty cool. So I can run it on my 10.5 and really not have any concerns about the suppressor having problems. It is made from stellite. They call it cobalt on the website now, so I don't know if there was like a trademark issue, but it is made from stellite, so it is very, very, very durable. But that durability comes at a cost, and that cost is weight. So this suppressor weighs, the Sandman S, weighs 17.7 ounces new. It weighs 18.9 ounces now. I added the 5.56 flash hider end cap because I only shoot this on 5.56 guns now. This has definitely reduced the flash signature, and it's made it quite a bit quieter to my ear. Now, other drawbacks, it is gassy. Okay, there's really no way to go about that. The back pressure ratings show that. And if you just see some footage here, you'll see a lot of gas. Now here's the problem. That extra gas coming back through your system normally would be traded off with a better sound suppression rating, and the reality is that this is not a very quiet suppressor at all. Oh, by the way, I only have the S and the K because the L at 21.9 ounces or 22 ounces, whatever it weighs, I don't have a use case for that, so that suppressor never made any sense to me to even purchase at all. So normally extra gas is going to be a byproduct of extra suppression, but no, you just have extra gas. And it's just because it is I don't want to say an antiquated design, but it is an old design compared to modern suppressors. Now, on the plus side, it does have this chemo quick attach, quick detach system. So I have it here on my Type A Mark 18 Mod 0, where you just simply cinch that on. And then if it's not scalding hot, you can take it off and swap it over. Well, there we go. See, this is a perfect example of one of the drawbacks to it. So it is touted as not being able to be carbon locked onto your gun. Fact check, false. I was able to carbon lock this onto my Evolved Weapon Systems 11.5, and I think that was only after about 5,000 rounds. Now, maybe that's a lot, maybe that's not, but for me, it was very, very stuck on there. I actually had to go over to the owner of Evolved Weapon Systems. We had to get it off together, and there was a lot of carbon buildup all around the chemo system. So the chemo system is great for quick attach. When it's hot, you're not quick detaching it, but it is very secure, which I guess would be a positive. So after all that, you're probably sitting there going, wow, it gets stuck to my gun, it's gassy and not very quiet, and it's heavy. Why would I buy it? The two reasons is very, very simple. It's pretty universal. Being a 30 cal can, I've been able to use it on quite a few different guns. That's number one. And number two is durability. So if you have multiple different guns and you plan on having a pretty intense fire schedule, the Sandman S is definitely something to look at. The K, this doesn't really make any sense at all. So I would just say the Sandman S is the only one we're talking about. It only makes sense if you're looking for a durable suppressor that is easy to swap from gun to gun. And if that is the case, and those are your main criteria, this is going to be a suppressor to look at. If you have any other criteria, you want it quiet, you don't want it gassy, and you want it lightweight, any one of those three, there are so many other options out there. But there is a very limited case for the Sandman S, and if that's for you, it's still viable-ish.